Mouse is on the corner.
We don't like
Where
that.
is that?
It's right
Oh,
there.
I
Yeah.
see, okay.
No, here, because this
All
one
right,
is,
we're good.
we like the
We're good.
cordless.
Okay.
We're fancier. I can't live without my cordless.
Right. So good evening, I'm Ashley Carlson. I am the 7th grade school counselor currently this year. This is my 5th year here at KP. I'm a newer mom. I have a 3-year-old at home and due to have another baby in August. So really excited about that. And
I'm Marnie Paulus, not pregnant, thank you very much. I've been here at KP since 1994, so I've seen all kinds of schedules and routines. I left in 2001 to raise my 3 boys. Jury's out if that helped. I've been back here since, I don't even know, 2011, so I took about 10 years off. So I always say that was back then was my then teacher, and this is the new and improved because I come seeing what happens in the middle school. I've worked in elementary schools, so I feel like I know K through 12 now pretty well. And I wouldn't be anyone else. I love the middle school. Those teenagers, it's the best stage. They're so weird. So great. You can't make up what they say. In retirement, I'm gonna write a book. I'll invite y'all to.
so during this past month, your child has had the opportunity to come to KP for a visit, just to get a tour of the school. No, you're shaking your head.
It's tomorrow.
Oh, yay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, sorry,
Okay.
yes, there is. Aiken, and we have Aiken left and
Whiting Lane.
Whiting Lane, thank you. So we do have 2 more visits, sorry. So they will be coming. Some have already come and had the opportunity to get a tour of our school. But once they arrive and they're shuffling into the cafeteria, and they all have a chance to sit down and settle in, the first thing we ask them is, how do you all feel about being here? We recognize emotions are a huge part of your child's ability to focus and be present and learn. So we really try to help understand where they are. And so just to kind of get a sense of, you're also part of this process as parents, what are you guys all feeling about your child's transition to KP, to middle school? What sort of emotions do you guys feel when you think about it? Worried? Okay. Excited?
I feel like a chapter is ending, and I'm not sure what the next chapter is, and I'm hoping I'm prepared
Sure,
for it.
absolutely. Yep. So, similar answers. Your kids are happy, they're excited, they're also a little nervous, worried about finding their way around. The unknown can be a little scary. So, so they do share some of that with us. So we're going to talk tonight about how to help your child succeed in middle school and reduce your stress.
So a typical day when the kids start to, by around October, they start to say, we have homework and we're in school all the time, we don't have a life, because the days they fly by, and they start to get that sense of, oh, all we do is schoolwork. So I bring up this pie chart and I say, most of the time you guys are sleeping, which you should be. You're growing when you sleep at this age. Like literally, I can hear your cells splitting as I'm teaching you. School, they're only here 33.3% of their day. It's a third of your day. You can do this, right? Homework, look how tiny. Who wants a piece of pie that small? Are you kidding me? Then I say, well, look at all this yellow, meaning other. All that time in your day, you get to play. You can go ride your bike, you can go to your sporting events, you can hang with friends. What are you complaining about? Like, oh. Because I have posters all over the room. One of them is, if you don't like something, change the way you think about it. And I must say that to the kids all day long. They're sick of me saying it by now with 13 days left of school, but I'll just show that pie graph and like, all right, we hear you. So don't let them complain at home. You got this, you got this.
So this is kind of just a sample schedule of what your child's day will look like at KP. We open our doors at 7:40. Kids start shuffling in between that 7:40, 7:55 time frame. They'll go to their locker, kind of get settled in, and then a new structure we have in place this year is they're going to go to their first period class. Typically, it would have been advisory, that's what we've done. This coming year in the fall, we're gonna start with academic right away, at 8 o'clock. So from 8, classes run 42 minutes long, so they'll start with an academic. They have unified arts, which is specials, your kids have had, art, music, health, PE, and technology and engineering. So they'll have, some academic classes, UAs. We do have advisory. It's not been taken from their schedule completely. They'll have it just in the middle of the day to kind of help break up the day a little bit. And then they'll go to lunch, learning lab. They may be in a classroom with a regular education teacher. They may be, doing choir, band, orchestra, quest. There's lots of different options they can do during that learning lab period. And then they'll finish their day with their academics and UA. So we're going to share with you some different tools that can really help your child find success in middle school. One of the first things is, one of the top 10 things that's important is having dinner together at least 4 to 5 nights a week. I know it can get crazy with different activities and shuffling kids around. It's so important because you get to hear about their day. You have a very captive audience at that point, where you can kind of get a sense of how they're doing. So it's important to have that at that time, and putting away devices is a great time to really build that connection and have their undivided attention.
And on that, structure creates discipline. We say that too often here at school, and that can happen at home too. And we're all busy. We all are going 50 different directions on a daily basis. But if you plan your dinner with the kids, and it might be at 5 o'clock on one night, it might be 9 o'clock on one night, where you're having eggs and toast because the baseball game went so long, or the dance recital lasted forever. But if you can build in the afternoon, where your children know that they're gonna come home, and it might not be right away, you know your kids best. If they need to play for half an hour, that's fine, but structure 90 minutes of homework time. And if you watch them and they're up every 10 minutes, which a lot of kids are because we're in a very instant gratifying world with their texting and TV shows and gaming, make them take a 10-minute break and come back, but then try to build in maybe 2 hours. And if homework goes over that, pull the plug. We're begging you. Please don't make, there are some kids that come, it took me 4 hours for homework. I'll call the parent at lunch. Are you kidding me? It took an hour and 50. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm like, okay, I'm just checking, because we don't want that. And if you ever have to leave a note in their agenda or a phone call, please let us know. Okay, homework is not, it counts 10% of their grade. It's really a testament to organization, responsibility, math practice. That's really what, and reading practice. The language arts teachers do a great job making them read 20 minutes, 30 minutes a night. So increases their vocab. There's studies that show, so really, and it counts 10% of their grade, so we don't want anyone freaking out about homework. Oh, the numbers, I got it, right? Yeah. So we're so, I feel like we're a society growing into over-programmedship. We don't have enough downtime. And I'm guilty of it at times. You can't just play soccer, you have to do FSA or Premier. You can't just play hoops, you gotta do AAU or make the travel team. And you can't, by the time they get all to high school, it all goes away anyway. I mean, it's a big deal in middle school, but they get up to high school, but I played AAU for 3 years, I didn't make the team, like, sorry, right? Here's this, what do you think 5.6% deals with in terms of sports? Anybody wanna guess? It's the amount of high school athletes that go on to a D1 school and get money. What do you think 1.4% is? Professional. People that make it to MLB, NBA, and right? So I'm just saying, keep the perspective. Because every 11-year-old thinks they're going to be on the MLB, or the girls think they're going to be the next dancer, or, and God love them, have at it, but don't let it overtake the life. My soapbox, that's all.
Establishing a workstation so students can stay organized. This might look, having a designated space for them to get their work done. It kind of creates that productivity piece if they have a place that they're always going to get their work done. It could be at the kitchen table, it could be in an office, a bedroom, dining room table. I think involving your child in that process of identifying a space within your house that works well for them, where they can get the work done. Technology, we are shifting into a lot of technology where assignments are offered through Google Classroom, or maybe they have to type. Just kind of monitoring them as they're going through that, monitoring what they're doing on their computer, on their cell phone, so that, it can lead to that procrastination where you think they've spent maybe an hour doing homework, but maybe they've been on different websites and they're not really doing the work. So just kind of keeping them at arm's length to check in and monitor.
Keeping a monthly calendar at home, I think, instead of the little calendars on their phone, just so they can see everything in the big picture. If they want to do play some mornings, 6th grade offers play, I'm not sure of the mornings, but like Monday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Friday, or something, where they can go in at 6:40 in the morning and get their exercise for a solid hour. They love that, but if they miss it, they get upset. So things like that, intramurals, projects coming up, it's good for them to see, look, in 2 weeks, you have this science project due, so this is how many days you have to get it done. Because, we got plenty of time. But let's look. You've got a game here, you've got dinner with grandparents here, dad's picking you up here, you really only have 3 nights. I think having that as a big calendar helps them manage their time. And that's, if we can do our job here in middle school and at the high school before they go off to college to help them manage their time wisely, that's such a good skill. And this is just a sample, I'm on the diamond team, and this is our homework calendar for the month of May. And the yellow highlight, Google does it, yellow highlights the day we're on, and the kids can see, and you as well, just to cross-check, did you do your math pages 317 to 318? How'd you know I had that? Right? You can just peek and check, and not every kid needs that. A lot of them are really, they own their own learning. You'll be amazed at how quickly they grow and adapt.
So kind of echoing what Marnie was saying about knowing the team's website for homework, and use to check if needed as backup. So we want them to first use their agenda as a tool to write down their assignments and kind of get into that habit of doing that. But knowing that the website's there is an excellent tool for them to have access to. And it's important for them to go on and check it if they haven't written it down, and kind of taking that ownership and responsibility for them to do that piece.
So I snuck around today in my team's classrooms, and in every classroom there's a homework section. So the students know that's where it gets written down from every day. We try to put it up Monday for the entire week, because they know they're busy nights during the week. We also will be giving them an agenda the first day of school, so they're gonna come home with a really cool calendar-looking-esque book that they will write their assignments, or they're supposed to, every day. And we even go through it, say, turn a couple of pages, that's when the book assignments due, like make sure you see that. And then I even have them write every day before, don't forget book assignment, don't forget book. So we try to really instill those good habits for them to help themselves. Yeah?
You were showing the website and the homework. Do they have access to their Google Classroom during the day? Like, can they just enter it on the computer if they want?
Yeah, there's Chromebooks in the
Yeah.
classroom, so if they're working on a particular paper or something, they'd have access to the classroom, their Google Classroom in their classroom.
Yeah.
And then during Learning Lab, that's another time if they're not doing like choir or band, they would be assigned to a Learning Lab period where they can work during that time and start the homework. They can see teachers for extra help, ask clarifying questions, kind of working in those advocacy literacy skills are important.
Keeping an organized binder. This is what we offer them to get as a sample. I've noticed more and more kids are getting those accordion, kind of they open up and they're an accordion style tan thing. But we like the binder system, the 3-ring binder, where the first day of school, we will have them put their schedule, then the agenda, their homework folder, and this is all on a list that you'll get over the summer. We've really pared it down. We're like, do they need white line paper? No. Do they need highlighters? Maybe one. Do they? So we kind of took a lot of stuff out. So what is on that list is really the necessities. A homework folder where we have them on the first day write in Sharpies to do and done. So they know. They go to math, they get the homework, they go home, they do it, they put it here. It's amazing how many kids lose it in between that process. I'm like, who lives in your folder? Where did it go? Then a parent will send a picture. I swear to God, we thought we put it in there. I'm like, we? No. Agenda. And then there's tabs where we have them labeled. They're 5 academics according to period 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. And at the end, they're UA tab. So it's a one system, not grotesquely huge. Some of them I say, why do you bring a suitcase to school? You're gonna need it on rollers, you're gonna kill your back. That's it. They'll try to talk you into the fancy schmancy, whether you could say, no, they said you don't need all that. They may want it to be cool, I don't know, but it's not necessary.
And also kind of getting into the habit too of, if they've said they finished their homework, having at least 10 minutes nightly to organize their binder. I often will have kids come in and their binder is like this and there's stack of papers in the front and it's not very organized. And when I ask them about it, they're like, oh, I was rushing from this class right at the end and so I just shoved it in. But if they do it nightly, then it kind of helps manage that disorganization piece because they're rushing. It just helps. Then they're not letting that kind of build up and then assignments are getting misplaced and it creates a lot of chaos.
So think back to the time your child's toddling around in their diaper and they wipe out. What'd you do? Did you want to pick them up? You did. You didn't get your phones out and videotape and smile, laugh? Oh man, you wouldn't have liked my house. You're like, look, do it again. But really, I use this as, like, your children will get an F once in their life at KP. It's going to happen. Homework counts, like I said, 10%, but if they don't have that homework for that day, we purposely put it in as a 0 so they see the F, because one of two things will happen. They'll hate it and they'll remedy it right away and not like that feeling, or they don't care. So we need to know those kids that don't care right away. We get Ashley involved, we get school counselor, like, 3 in a row, we'll call home, like, what's going on? They don't do their homework at home, or they're just, so that's what we care about. If they care, good. Don't come down too hard, because it's going to happen. They're kids that make mistakes. I've been at this long enough to see it. If they fail because they don't understand something, totally different story. And that's where we need your help in partnering by saying, email the teacher if you're nervous to go talk to them. Because we'll get the email and pull them in. And they'll see we're not monsters, But to teach that skill of self-advocacy is huge. Let some come right in. Why'd I get the F? Like, you didn't give me your homework. I put it in the bin. No, you didn't. It's on your dining room table. Oh, right? We work it through. But some will just go through the day and not want to come speak. So I always encourage, email us. You have that email. I even give a lesson the first week of how to write a proper email. I'm like, don't text me. Don't lowercase anything. I love Mrs. Sullivan's, it's B4 spelled not B4. Like, don't text me. I won't answer you, right? But they learn so much. And that's our goal before they go off to high school. They do extra before they go off to college. But they do come in young, and it's okay. Let us be the heavy, I guess I'm saying.
Number 2, keep worrying to a minimum. So this one, and I know it's easier said than done, but I heard this somewhere and it's really stuck with me, is that your voice becomes your child's inner voice. So if you're worrying, then they internalize that and they worry. So it's important, to allow them to really make mistakes and kind of figure out how am I gonna solve this problem and kind of work through it, because then they'll grow from that. It really, you know, offers that opportunity for them to figure it out. And not that you're totally hands-off, but you're kind of probing them with some curiosity questions of exploring, well, what did you do this time? Maybe they didn't prepare for a test, they maybe crammed the night before. What would you do differently? Kind of getting them to think through that process allows them to really take ownership of it.
And I don't know if you have kids in high school and college, but they do, it goes so fast. So just love them. If they're crying over something, just hug them and listen, right? And I have to tell this to myself all the time too, try not to judge, hear their problems. The older they are, the bigger the problems. But just love them. I should have changed that font, it's too bright. Can you read it? Sorry. Questions for us? Really? We were that good at it? Okay. Or you're just too hot and tired, it's hot. I'm looking at the clock, I'll be back in 12 hours, I need to get my key up. Yes?
Do the human beings born in 2007 and 8 really believe in the binder? Like, do they not need digital stuff? They can deal with papers?
Dealing with the papers, it's fun to watch. Yeah, you get, for next year's, but if we together, I'm taking a picture what the binders actually look like in spring.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I should show
We
it.
do a lot, we all have a Google Classroom. I don't grade them online, I can't. My eyes are going, I'm like, I need the paper, I need to like feel it still, I guess I'm an old-fashioned teacher, but everything is on Google Classroom. And you guys can sign into it too, once your children share your code, just to get reminders and see, but yeah, even in college, I'm amazed at the hand papers, these 12-page papers that have to get turned in, because my son, he's at Central, will run home and I'm like, don't they have copiers in the library there? Yeah, but I know where ours is, blah. I'm like, oh God. So yeah, I hear you, but I don't think we're quite there yet.